Vilhelm Holsøe, 1863 to 1935, was a Danish painter celebrated for his serene and introspective interior scenes, which captured quiet domestic life with poetic restraint. His art is often compared to that of his contemporaries Vilhelm Hammershøi and Peter Ilsted, as part of a group of Scandinavian artists whose works evoke stillness, subtle emotional depth, and refined light. Early life and education. Carl Holsøe was born on March 12, 1863, in Aarhus, Denmark. He came from a culturally inclined family. His father, Niels Holsøe, was an architect, which gave Carl early exposure to architectural forms and interior design, elements that would later become central to his artistic vision. Encouraged to pursue the arts, Carl enrolled at the Royal Danish Academy of Fine Arts in Copenhagen in 1882, where he studied under some of the most respected painters and art professors of the time. During his academic years, Holsøe became deeply influenced by the Dutch masters of the 17th century, especially Johannes Vermeer. This influence is visible in his meticulous compositions, his sensitive use of natural light, and his preference for domestic interiors as subject matter. He also spent some time studying at the Kunstnernes Free Study Scholar, the Artist Independent Study Schools, where he was mentored by Peter Severin Krøyer, a leading figure in Danish art and a member of the Skagen Painters. Artistic development. Holsøe began exhibiting in the late 1880s and quickly garnered attention for his unique ability to infuse seemingly ordinary interior scenes with a deep emotional resonance. His works typically depict a solitary woman, often viewed from behind or in profile, engaged in a quiet activity like reading, sewing, or daydreaming. These women, frequently dressed in subdued tones, are portrayed in sunlit rooms surrounded by elegant furniture, soft drapery, and ornate wallpaper. The emotional power of Holsøe's art lies not in overt expression, but in suggestion. The viewer becomes a silent observer, invited to share a private, contemplative moment with the subject. Through this quiet observation, his paintings reveal a profound sense of stillness and introspection. Unlike many of his contemporaries who embraced bold brushwork and vibrant colors, Holsøe maintained a restrained palette, favoring soft grays, warm browns, pale yellows, and muted whites. His technique emphasized atmosphere over detail, light over narrative, and mood over motion, themes and style. Carl Holsøe's artistic identity is closely associated with the Danish style of interior realism. However, what sets him apart is not merely the replication of interior settings, but the psychological atmosphere he evokes through careful arrangement and lighting. His compositions are often marked by architectural balance, subtle tonal shifts, and a masterful handling of light, usually natural light streaming through tall windows or partially open doors. These beams of light gently illuminate his interiors, giving them a soft, dreamlike quality. The quiet solitude of his figures reflects themes of domesticity, introspection, and the poetry of everyday life. His work shares affinities with the symbolist movement in that it suggests emotion without dramatizing it. Holsøe's art invites reflection rather than telling a story, and his figures, while often anonymous, convey a sense of universal human experience, recognition, and legacy. Throughout his career, Holsøe enjoyed steady recognition, particularly in Denmark and Germany. He exhibited frequently at the Charlottenborg Spring Exhibition in Copenhagen and took part in numerous international exhibitions, including those in Munich and Paris. In 1901, he received the prestigious Eckersberg Medal, one of the highest honors for Danish artists. Though somewhat overshadowed by the more famous Vilhelm Hammershøi during his lifetime, Holsøe's reputation has steadily grown over time. In recent decades, art historians and collectors have increasingly appreciated his subtle genius. His paintings have become highly sought after at auctions and are featured in several museum collections, including those of Statens Museum for Kunst, National Gallery of Denmark, and the Hirschsprung Collection in Copenhagen. Personal life and death. Carl Holsøe was known to be a private and introspective individual, much like the characters in his paintings. He married and had children, and his wife and family members often served as models for his interior scenes. Despite his success, Holsøe led a relatively quiet life, focused on his art and family. He continued painting well into the 1930s, remaining loyal to the themes and style that defined his work. He passed away in 1935, leaving behind a rich legacy of poetic interiors that continue to resonate with viewers for their timeless calm and meditative beauty. Conclusion. Carl Wilhelm Holsøe's art is a quiet celebration of domestic life, intimacy, and inner reflection. With his meticulous compositions, subdued colors, and reverence for light, he created a world where silence speaks volumes and the everyday becomes transcendent. In an era of artistic upheaval and experimentation, Holsøe remained committed to exploring profound within the ordinary, a pursuit that has ensured his lasting place in the history of Scandinavian art.